Today I wanted to talk about something that I think has been the biggest threat to my sobriety, especially in the past, coming out of jail when I wanted to stay clean, coming out of inpatient treatment, and coming out of prison, and that is boredom, downtime, and loneliness. And I think it's a real danger to our sobriety, especially in the first few weeks or month after you get out, uh, it, because the level of social interaction in those places, in prison, jail, inpatient treatment, the level of social interaction is so intense that when we get out, there's like a void, a huge void, because we're in there. When you're in prison, you got cells to the left and right of you, up on a tier, down the tier. You're in a unit with like 254 other guys. There's always someone to talk to, always something to do. Same with inpatient treatment. You either have roommates or neighbors. There's just so much social interaction that when we get out of there, and especially if we're trying to stay clean and sober, and we don't want to hang out with our old friends, old relationships, you definitely have to establish some boundaries there. And I'm not saying like go out and just call everybody on your friends list or on your contacts list and say, hey, look, we got a boundary now. That might not be healthy. However, I encourage you to just be strong and courageous in that sense. When you do come into contact with those people, try and throw out, yeah, I'm clean and sober right away. Hey, I'm not doing anything. I can't really mess around like that. Usually, and one of the things I do is, I bring up my higher power, Jesus Christ. That usually scares a lot of people away. However, I welcome anybody that wants to talk about that in. So, boredom, downtime, it really sucks, and it's just a fact of life. Everybody has to deal with it. I deal with it all the time, and I'm not going to sit here and give you a list of like all kinds of things to do. It's not what the point of this video, but there are some things I do want to encourage you guys to do. We're already in sobriety. We're already in the process of bettering our lives. So, if you got like a YMCA in your area or a cheap gym, I encourage you to go out and see what you can do. They usually have scholarships or some kind of way to get like a cheap deal on a gym membership. I go to the YMCA. It's great, man. I go every day. It's a cool place, man. It's a Christian organization. That's awesome, and they help a lot of kids and stuff. They do all kinds of great stuff. You can also volunteer there, which is another thing I want to bring up and encourage you guys to do. So practice a little humility, maybe. If you're struggling with boredom and downtime, not to just get out of your comfort zone, but get out of yourself, man. I know when we're in recovery, man, we can get stressed out, maybe overwhelmed with like, oh man, I want to do this, but I can't do this. I want to do this, I can't see those people, I can't be around all this stuff. It's kind of stressful. But there's freedom in volunteering. You call it church, Habitat for Humanity, like I said before, YMCA. And there should be, especially if you live in a bigger city, bigger area, there's all kinds of places that need your help. And it's really, like I said, freeing or whatever. It frees you a little bit, man, because you're outside yourself. You're not even necessarily working on your sobriety. You're there. You're helping others. Maybe serving food at a mission. That's a good one. Right now, I work for Habitat for Humanity. Yeah, it's court ordered. I have a whole bunch of community service to do, but it really it's uplifting to be there and just be helping out a good cause. They put a lot of people in good houses. I'm going to share some links to those places. YMCA, Habitat for Humanity should be down there somewhere after this video. And like I said, that's really helpful. And another thing we face in downtime, when I'm bored, I do a lot of brainstorming, like setting goals and trying to establish some things that I want to do, and that can be a little overwhelming at times too. That's when I sit down and I realize all these things I'm capable of and all these goals and dreams I have, big things I want to do, it's almost self-defeating and kind of discouraging, because I'm like, man, I can do this, this, and this, and this, but man, in order to do that, I got to do this. So setting some reasonable, easy to reach goals is very important, and that's a good thing you can do if you got access to the internet, whatever, which I'm sure you do if you're watching this video. Obviously you do. And just look for some little things to work towards your ultimate bigger goals. A lot of us get out, man, and we want to do school right away. That can be really overwhelming in itself, man. If you haven't been to school in a long time, I just went to community college a little while ago before I went to inpatient treatment, and I thought I had it because I was in prison. I was doing 3.9 GPA. I was doing really good in prison, and I got out and I thought I could hit some some hard classes, you know, English, math, and Spanish. It was, I bit off a bit more than I could chew. So if you want to go that route, and I encourage you to do so, go, you know, better yourselves in every way possible, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, and with an education. If you're having any trouble with that, you know, if you get online and you feel a little overwhelmed with the FAFSA, you know, it can be stressful, people that aren't computer savvy or whatever. I encourage you just to go to your local community college, just go in there, walk into the financial aid department, and just say, hey, man, you know, this is where I'm at, this is what I want to do, I want to go to school, how do I get in the door? And then you'll meet with advisors, you know, they'll get you help with your financial aid, work study, stuff to pay for your tuition and living expenses. You know, you can get student loans and stuff. That's a whole other ball game. I'm not going to get too far into that. But there's so much we can do in our recovery, and I think it's important because we've been, you know, as addicts, you know, just taken so much away from society, from others, from our family, from friends, so-called friends or whatever, you know. Work every day, man. Just make it a point to be a better person. You know, if you're going into a store, hold the door open for somebody. When you see somebody, when you come into like 10, 15 feet of someone, you make eye contact, smile. You never know, you could brighten their whole day. You can make their whole day. They could be having a really shitty day, and because you smiled at them, you know, I know we walk around, you know, we kind of, you know, a lot of us got tattoos, you know, I got barbed wire, smile now, cry later, skulls on me and stuff. It's kind of, how do I want to say, you know, I'm kind of cautious of, you know, approaching people and being a real nice guy, even though I'm a really social person. I'm really, like, I'm not shy at all, you know, I like to help people, I like to talk to people and stuff, but, you know, I still wear baggy clothes and all that stuff, got tattoos, all that stuff, but you know, it's really fortifying to my recovery. It really strengthens my recovery. It really lifts me up, man, when I can walk around and walk through certain neighborhoods. Okay, case in point, I like to walk my dog every day. Well, at the same time, you know, at the same time every night I walk my dog, and I live in a kind of a upper middle class neighborhood, you know, not too richy, but the neighborhoods that I walk through to get down to where I walk my dog, they're like very wealthy neighborhoods, you know, big, huge houses, you know, people, they're all really rich and stuff, and it's kind of crazy, you know. I started out walking through here, I'm like, oh man, these guys are going to call the cops on me or something. But you know, I do this thing, the same thing every day, walk my dog through these neighborhoods, and these people, they all wave at me now, you know, and it feels good, you know. I mean, people that would have called the cops maybe, or just, you know, have been real suspicious, like, what's this guy doing here, you know. I'm just walking my dog, and that's all I am to them. Just like volunteering at the Habitat for Humanity store, I'm just the guy that helps them load their stuff into their car, you know. I mean, they don't really know any of my background, and that's not really important. The importance is I'm helping others. I try to give off that vibe of a nice guy that I'm, you know, I'm just not like a freaking menace anymore, you know. And it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me, and I'm sure it would be to you. You know, I encourage you guys just to be positive in everything you do. And I know we get depressed sometimes and discouraged sometimes, man, but you know, we'll get through that. And I hope that you guys, you know, anybody watching this video, if I help just one person, we're all struggling with things, man. I'm struggling with all kinds of things, but I'm getting through it. I'm staying sober. You know, I'm not trying to stay sober. I'm staying sober. I'm doing it. You know, through the grace of my higher power, I truly believe, you know, I am a new creation in Jesus Christ, and that's 2 Corinthians 5:17. If you want to check that out in the Bible, behold, if anybody is in Jesus Christ, he's a new creation. The old has passed away and the new has come. And man, I'm doing so good with my higher power and the things I'm doing right now. You know, I encourage you guys to go to a church, man. Check it out. At least a Celebrate Recovery meeting. If you're doing self-help, you know, check out your higher power. Establish a higher power. You know, I hope it's Jesus Christ, because that's really what's working for me. You know, I'm not trying to Bible bang on you guys too much, like I said in the last video, but that's really just doing amazing things in my life. Doors are opening up, man. I'm going to Bible studies at all these like really big, nice houses. All these people that, you know, normally, you know, shouldn't let me in their house, you know. But, you know, I'm not trying to take advantage of these people or anything. A lot of them don't even know where I come from or anything. And it's cool that, you know, hey, these people let me in their house just because they care. And, man, that's just, it's great, you know. So I encourage you guys to try everything that I mentioned. Another thing I wanted to talk about, man, is, you know, they tell us in treatment to have a structured day. I don't go to the point of having to start your day like they in treatment they want you to have like every hour. What are you doing every hour on the hour? I kind of have like a loosely structured day. I wake up in the morning, have a little devotional time, check out the daily bread and stuff, like that. And then I go out and I look for work, go to the gym, walk my dog, make dinner. I get a lot of joy out of I'm on this health kick, going to the grocery store and finding out what healthy stuff I can eat. That's a cool thing. It's also important to have a healthy diet, man. The vitamins and everything, how it works in your body. That just makes you feel good too. So, yeah. I'm gonna leave you guys with this, man. No matter what you're doing, now, however big or small in your recovery and for your recovery, man, the bigger, from your perspective, that your recovery looks to you, and it is to you, the more things that you're doing. And yeah, we're always going to have downtime. We're always going to be bored sometimes, and there's lots of positive stuff available to us to overcome that. And, for some insignificant times, you're just going to be bored. But encourage you to try the stuff that I mentioned before. Back to what I was saying, the bigger your recovery looks in hindsight, all the crap that you've done, all the destruction you've caused, all the things you've taken, all the lives you may have even destroyed. I probably have hurt some people very, very bad. The more you're doing in your recovery, the smaller all that stuff seems, man. And the further you get in recovery, the farther away that stuff is. So, in closing, work that. Your recovery, the bigger it seems, the bigger it appears to you, the bigger it is to you, the more stuff you're doing. Even if it's not recovery related, if you're volunteering, if you're working out, if you're going to school, it makes your little criminal life, your little habit self, your little nasty you smaller. And if you are in Jesus Christ, like I mentioned that Bible verse earlier, 2 Corinthians 5:17, that stuff's not even there anymore. So, I love you guys, care about you all. Stay strong. You're not alone. I'm going through it every day, but smaller and smaller every day. My struggles, I'm feeling real freedom, man, in everything I'm doing. So I hope you guys are great. And like, subscribe. I got links down here somewhere. And with that, I'm out.